event about Overdrive. Thanks for joining us. So what we've got for the session today is just a brief introduction into the Overdrive product. So we'll see what it is. And we'll spend most of the time on a demonstration, so we actually show you it in action, show how we create sites and how we manage those sites effectively, and also show you some uses for Overdrive, so you can get an idea of what it can be used for. This is the agenda for today. As I said, we'll basically spend most of our time in the demonstration, but we'll also look at some of our existing customers, what they use Overdrive for, and discuss some of the next steps in terms of your investigation of Overdrive, what it is and what it can do, etc. We will have time for Q&A. There is a chat box on the Click Meeting screen, so you can put your chats in there. They'll appear in the screen here. So we'll have a chance to go through those, hopefully, and then we can answer those questions if we get a chance. If not, we'll come back to them after the event, whichever is most appropriate. Okay, so just a brief overview of what Overdrive is and what it can do. Essentially, it's aimed at G Suite users, both in the education and business industries, and really whichever version of G Suite you use, Overdrive can be useful, whether that's basic business or enterprise, or the education or even non-profits. Essentially, it allows you to take your G Suite data and build sites and portals around that data. So it presents a nicer environment for your users to exist in. There's an automatic two-way sync between Overdrive and the G Suite services, be that Drive, Calendar, Contacts, etc. So you make a change at either end. Those changes are reflected on the other application, however your users are viewing it. Essentially, as I said, it presents a nicer environment for your users to view the information that you wish to share with them. And those users who are using the Overdrive site can be all your internal staff. They can be a mixture of internal and external staff, like clients, vendors, suppliers, etc. Or indeed, even completely public sites can be created with Overdrive. Whichever method, whichever type of site you are creating, you can be sure that Overdrive can fulfill the requirements, and it's got the functionality to allow you to create the sites which are most appropriate for you and for your audience. In terms of what it's used for, this is really coming from our clients, because the clients decide what they're using Overdrive for. And it falls into two main categories, really. It's either long-term sites, like intranets and project workspaces and education portals, where I'm spending lots of time creating the site and making sure that the site is exactly what I want it to be, and it's in long-term use. The other alternative is short-term uses, and this is mainly for events or for meetings, or virtual data rooms often fall into this category, where I'm creating a site and I'm having the functionality that I want within that site, but actually it's only being in use for a short period of time. So that may be, so I've got an event in a couple of weeks. In that event site, I've got my agenda, I may have feedback forms, I might have my presentation decks, I may have contact information, location, all that kind of thing. But after that event is completed, I no longer need access to that site, so that can be discarded. And one of the advantages that users have with Overdrive is that once you have a license, you can create as many Overdrive sites as you wish, which really means that a plethora of sites can be created across the organization. Overdrive itself is built on top of Google Cloud Platform, which is the main cloud infrastructure service from Google. Apologies for the skipping of the slides. So this is what your G Suite service sits on. It's also things like Evernote and Wix that you may have heard about, Shazam. So all these large applications are built on the same application and infrastructure as Overdrive. And that means that it's much easier for us as a development organization, because we can concentrate on adding functionality to the product without having to worry about the infrastructure. But it's also comforting for you and complies with your existing security protocols, and the fact that the data resides in the same location as your G Suite data. So talk about the key benefits of Overdrive. Again, it's this idea that we can create as many sites as we want, that we can create sites where different users can see different information, and we manage their permissions effectively. It can be used for lots of different things and lots of different reasons. And as you see in the demonstration, the speed of implementation is important. So we can go very quickly from a series of Google Drive folders to a completed site literally within minutes. And nothing else exists on the market that can do that at this moment in time. And that gives users a great deal of flexibility in terms of what they use Overdrive for, how often they use it, how many sites are created, etc. Okay, so that's kind of all I wanted to spend in terms of some background information. Obviously, I don't know how far you've got within your investigation of Overdrive, but hopefully you've seen some of it. But what I'll do now, I'll go through the demonstration and we'll take through the creation of a site live if the gods of demonstrations are with us. So we'll create it live and we'll show you one or two things that Overdrive can do and see how that fits with your environment. So I'll just shell out of the presentation and I'll come over here to a site that you may be well used to, Google Drive. Let me just have a quick look, see if there's any questions. Just as a reminder, this text box that you've got within the meeting, just put your questions in there. We'll come to those when we can. So here I have my list of Overdrive demonstration sites. We'll see we've got a number of users in here. I'm going to create two sites for you. One is completely from scratch and is brand new, and the other has already been created and has got the design and the content already sorted. So you see it from both ways. When I'm creating an Overdrive site, I can do it in one of two ways. One is I've got my structure in terms of my Drive folder structure already sorted out, and I'm just creating a site around that data. Or I can actually start from scratch and say I don't really know what content I want, so just give me a blank site and I'll build it on the fly. We'll show the first option of that, and here we have this intranet folder structure here. So I've got a series of folders. These have got child folders, subfolders. Some of these subfolders have got content in as well. So I could, if I had to share this information and I was only wanted to share documents, I could just share this Google Drive folder. But that's not always convenient. A, because Overdrive allows us to create a nicer environment for users to exist in, whereas Drive for native users or for occasional users may not be the most appropriate or easy to understand. And also I may want to share, along with this document data, I may want to share other information like calendars and contacts and groups and discussions and all sorts of other things. Well, I can't do that within Drive, but I can within Overdrive. So I come up here to this top level folder and I right click on the folder and I say open with, and I just simply say open with Overdrive. First thing that happens is I have to sign into the account. Basically that means that I am identifying who I am, and I'm saying, do I have access to this site? Well, I'm creating the site, so clearly I have access to that. And again, I just sign in with my Google credentials, just so I know who I am. And that will get me into the site. And the next stage is the site is actually created for me. And this is happening live, so this is a brand new site. When you first create a site, this allows us to do is we've got this walkthrough here, which is actually quite good. So it's useful to go through this walkthrough to understand what the site looks like, etc. In that Google Drive structure, we had a series of subfolders, and those subfolders have come through now, and it's still building in the background. So what I would typically do is spend a little bit of time getting the look and feel of the site created and sorted. I would then decide how I want my site folders to look and how I want my display, my data, how I want that to look to my users. So I'll spend a little bit of time sorting that out. But it is very easy. Now, what this might be easier if I just go over to a site which has already been completed. So I've spent a little bit of time on here. Again, we still need to change some things on here. This image isn't quite right. You know, I might want to change some of the content on here, but basically this site looks okay. It's branded quite well. I've got my structure sorted out. I may not want two navigation bars in here. I've got this top and this side nav. I may not want that, but you've got the choice. You've got the flexibility in terms of how you decide the site to look to your users. And I do this simply by coming up here. We call this our cog menu, which is kind of like an admin menu. Now I just click on there, and the section I want is Template Designer. And what the template designer does, it allows me to dictate how this site will look to my users. So I'm deciding everything. I'm deciding what fonts it's using, what colors, what layout, what sizes, what pages, how tables look, all the rest of it. So I've got a whole plethora of options on here. Once I've sorted that out, I can either decide on each of these individual features, or I can choose one of the predetermined features that I've got available up here. And even if that's not good enough, for the developers amongst us, I've got the ability to add in any JavaScript or style sheet code to the site. So I really can make it look exactly how I want it to look. So let's assume I've done everything on there. That's fine. I've got the site looking the way that I want it to look. I know it's branded effectively, and I've got the colors. Now what I'm interested in is how the information is displayed. So on this home page, this is a very, very busy home page. I probably wouldn't recommend that you have one quite as busy as this, but obviously we're just demonstrating some of the things that you can do with Overdrive. So obviously I can embed images. I've got some buttons here to direct me either to places in the site or external locations. I've got clearly I've got site search, and I've also got the ability to search google.com or my Gmail or calendar, whichever I want to provide to my users. We're adding in some social feeds, and this is live Twitter feed and live Facebook feed. So whatever happens on those feeds will appear in here. I've got a list of common documents. So I'm saying to my users, this is an easy way for you to access this information. And I can give them the option, if I want to, of downloading that information, or indeed making a copy of that information if it's deemed appropriate data to be able to do that. I can embed slide decks or presentations, which is quite nice. So this is a similar one to this presentation. I've got the option of showing calendars. And again, I can change how that calendar is viewed. I can move from week to month to day to agenda view. You know, it's quite nice. I can play YouTube videos. Images again. I can embed documents, forms. I've got to have discussions, chat. I've got live Google Maps. I've got text fields. I can do all sorts with this site. Now, as I said before, you probably wouldn't have anything as busy as that on this particular page. But what you can do is take some of the features on here and build pages around that data. And I'll show you one or two of those. So we've got the ability, as you've seen, to take content within Google Drive and hold it on a page effectively in folder view. So here we have, this is an accurate representation of the information that's in Google Drive. And this particular view that I'm using is what we call an icon view. So I'm seeing a representation of the document. This works really well with images, works okay with documents, but not brilliant. And I've got the option that I can just click through and I can open up the document. And this happens to be a PDF, so it's an accurate representation of what the underlying document is. So again, it just works really well. It's just an easy way for me to share this information with my users. It is a little bit slow today, so at least you know it's a live demonstration. Just talking about the documents, this is, as I said, this is a PDF document. I can embed any type of document in here, so Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, PDFs, even Microsoft documents. So that gives us a great deal of flexibility in terms of the information that we can display. I have a filter box here, which allows me to look through this list and decide what information I want to display. So I can just look for children and nothing is found because I've spelt it wrong. If I clearly do it right, but in there you'll see those documents appear. And it's looking at the title of the documents, and it's also looking inside Google Docs, Sheets and Slides as well, so you'll find all that information. So I'm taking a Google Drive document folder with documents in, pulling that across, giving it a nicer environment for users to view that information, perhaps making it prettier, more branded. But I can do so much more than that with Overdrive. So I can take one of these documents and I can say, I really want this to sing. I want this to be very prominent on this particular site. So what I can do, I can take the contents of that document and effectively rip them out and throw them onto the page and then display them like this. And then here we've added this in this pagination feature so I can view this information. Now underneath this document is a Google Doc. So all you need to do, you don't need to change your content. You don't need to copy content. It's just looking at your existing location within Google Drive, saying, I want this document. I want this document embedded on the page, and I want it displaying like this. So this works really, really well for high profile, prominent documents like guides, staff handbooks, project documents, anything where lots of people will be accessing that content on a regular basis, which is important to us. I can also do the same thing with Google Sheets and Google Slides, and it works in exactly the same way. Again, just a nice way to view information. I've also got the ability to say, well, actually, I want to create some kind of blog. So I've got a series of documents, and I want those documents to be displayed in a blog view like this. So I'm seeing the kind of highlights of the documents. When I click through, I see the documents nicely embedded on the page. Pull out the first image and display them that way, and I can move from document to document really easily. I can, if I want to, and if I have got edit rights to this document, I can actually what we call switch to edit mode. So now, what I'm allowing my users to do, providing they've got sufficient privileges to do this, is find a document easily. And instead of having to go back to Drive to find that document, open up the folder, open up the document to edit it, actually I can do that editing directly within Overdrive. And any changes I make to this document in Overdrive are automatically synced back to Google Drive. So everything is kept within sync. Again, just makes it easy for users to use the information that you want to share with them. We've dealt mostly with documents so far. So just before I move and finish the demonstration, let me show you one or two other things that we can do. So if I come over to contact details, anybody who's used Google G Suite for some time will know it's actually quite difficult to share contacts. And actually now with Overdrive, it's easy. So I've created a group of contacts that I want to share with the visitors to this site. Pointed Overdrive at that group of users. They're coming through to here and they can see the information, and I can add information to this if I want to. Again, we've got the ability to filter this list. So again, if I can type right, I'll find Alyssa, and again, users can just go through and see the information that they see fit. So contacts work really well. Calendars, as we saw on the home page, I think again work particularly well. We've got different views of information, and also I'm displaying different calendars within here, hence the different colors. So I can decide what type of view I want, and indeed have more than one view on one page, which again just makes it really nice. Easy for users to be able to see the information which is relevant to them and interact with that. We can then take it to a whole new level, really, away from just documents, contacts, calendars, and other G Suite services by using something that we're really proud of within Overdrive, which is where we've added a workflow module to Overdrive. So this completely takes out of the realm of anything else that's available on the market for creating content from G Suite products and data. So this is a really simple example. This happens to be an expense claim. So we create a template. When anybody creates a new workflow process of creating a new expense claim, they click on the button, a copy of that template is created. They complete that template, they submit that template is then sent to whoever can approve the process. They receive an email notification, they approve it, and it appears back in this list. Workflow works really, really well with anything where there is an approval process for marketing materials. You know, I'm creating a PR press release, and I want to be able to approve it. I'm creating a quotation, and that needs approval. Holiday request, headcount request, expense claims, as in this one, vehicle inspection, anything where I'm creating information and that information is then approved by a group of users. So workflow is really, really important to Overdrive. We're also about to launch, in fact, it's launching in early adopter version, a mobile forms version. So if you want to collect information out in the field, we can do that. And that's, again, vehicle inspection, it's customer orders, it's classroom inspections, it's anything where I'm away from my desk, I'm collecting information. All that information needs to be collated and sent back to the Overdrive site for inspection by other people. All that will be done within Overdrive. I've kind of shown you one or two things. What I want to do now is show you how we build a site, just so you get an idea of how easy it is. So I'm coming over to this site. You can see that clearly we've been experimenting on this site. So I'll clean this up. So when you create your trial site, you'll come up here and you'll see this button here, which is called Page Builder. Click that open, and I'll just get rid of these just so I've got a clean slate to be working with. A couple of things that I might want to do. I might want to take a drive folder and display a drive folder. So I select it from the list, pull it over here. I choose the size that I want, and then I configure the tile. Which basically means what do I want to appear within this tile. And I've got a number of things that I can do, and I'll just use this one here just for ease of use. Again, I could change any of these functions. I won't in this particular case, and that'll just be displayed there. Now, I've shown you how we embed documents. Again, I'm just pulling that across. I'll change the size, and you see that they don't have to appear at the same size, which is quite useful. Configure the tile, and I'll choose a document that's hopefully fairly neutral. And what that'll allow me to do is embed that document on this page. See, we're just waiting for Google Docs at the moment just to open up. Great. Google is great, isn't it? Again, at least you know it's a live demonstration. I'm going to force a refresh on that. There's no point you hanging around just watching Google do his stuff. So he's reverted back to the old version, which is fine. So some of the other things that we can do, we've seen documents and spreadsheets and slides come across. We've got Data Studio reports. We've also got things like Google Groups. We've also got a discussion module, which you can use, photos and maps, contacts. We've got a whole range of search criteria, social networks, which we can bring in, and a range of other things. You may be using Awesome Table, which is a great add-on for G Suite. Worth a look. This is our workflow module. Site Recorder is our mobile forms app, and we've got other third-party products like a Smartsheet, which we integrate with. So whatever you want to use Overdrive for, there are ways in which you can get the pages to do what you want it to do. You share it with an appropriate audience, and they can access that information when they need to. So that's kind of all I wanted to show you at the moment. Let me go back to the presentation and talk a little bit about who's using it at the moment and what they're using it for. So these are just some of our customers. You see, we work across all industries and across all sizes of organization. So construction and education are quite strong. Media and publishing are quite strong. Anywhere where there's lots of documents which are managed and shared with a group of users. In terms of uses, it's intranet, it's client portals, it's training sites where I'm sharing information. Again, I've got a group of users and I want to share information with those users, and I can do that through Overdrive. Most of these organizations have more than one Overdrive site, simply because they want to be able to do different things on different sites, which is important to us. Okay, just about run out of time, but just quickly talk about what next steps are for you guys. If you haven't done it already, you can create a trial site, and we'll send you the link to be able to do that. Again, you can create as many trial sites as you like, and you can share them with as many users as you want to. We've also got some public demonstration sites available. So we'll send you the links to those where you can see, what a finished site looks like, and the walkthroughs are on there. They take you through what the site can do and how it uses it. And if you've got any specific questions that we can answer, then feel free to arrange a one-to-one consultation with us, where we just try and work out what you're trying to do, and we'll work out the best way that can be achieved with Overdrive. And that will either be with us, or we've got a network of partners worldwide who work in your area, your time zone, your language, etc. So we'll hook you guys up with an appropriate resource who can help you. Let me just flick over to questions. So Graham, yes, can you use ShareDrive? Yes, you can. ShareDrive, for those who haven't caught up yet, ShareDrive is a new name for team drives. So absolutely, and we inherit the permissions on those shared drive, so you can point Overdrive at that shared drive, and it creates the site from there. Okay, I don't think there are any further questions, so all is left for me to thank you for your attending. Sorry, Graham, can external people send you files? Yes, you can. In fact, I might show you that, if that's okay. Graham, let me just come out of here. And I'm on this one, and I'll just quickly come out of here. And I've got this option here to either create new files and folders. And for those of you who create lots of folders of files at one time within Drive, you know how difficult that is. We actually do that in bulk. So you paste 20 file names or folder names into the box, and it creates them automatically, which is great. But I've also got the opportunity to upload information. So I need certain access rights to be able to upload those files. But yes, I can have either internal or external users accessing the information and uploading new content to the site, and we've got notifications to say that that's occurred, etc. So hopefully that's answered that one. I think that's it. As I say, we'll follow up with an email with more information. If there's anything else that we can help with, any other questions that you may have, please just drop us a line and reply to that email, and we'll happily take it from there. So thank you for your time.